Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iOS today is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
We've got the top 10 hidden iOS tips.
Plus, Dan the man is ready to strike out on his own.
And a robot that gets better with age, like you.
I am a robot. On iOS Today. iOS Today is brought to you by LinkedIn Learning. Develop talent and keep skills current with expert-led on-demand e-learning. To request a demo for your organization or get a free individual trial, visit learning.linkedin.com/twit. iOS Today time. Hello, Megan Maroney.
Hello, Leah Laporte.
Great to see you.
Good to see
Look
you
forward to
as
every
well.
Monday. This is where we look at Apple's iPad, iPhone, Apple TV, and Apple Watch, and look at the latest and greatest. And this is a fun one because we're going to the new iOS 10 is so great. Even if you have an older iPhone or iPad, you're going to get lots of new features. Some of the features we're going to show you today require an iPhone 6S or later because you have to use 3D Touch. But there's some really great hidden stuff in there.
There really is. So should we get right to it?
Yeah.
Okay, we each have 5. You have some extras.
I sent you extras because I felt guilty about some of them because I've shown them before.
Okay, well, this first one is how you can respond to earlier messages in a conversation. If you've ever been in an iMessage conversation and you ask someone a question and then they, are asking you a question at the same time, and then you get really confused, because someone's answering a question that happened way earlier. So this way you can respond earlier to earlier text messages. So
that's really kind of an interesting idea. I like it.
Yes. So
you have a limited responses though, right?
You can thumbs up, you can thumbs down. Let's see. We have this whole big thread here, and we didn't really actually say anything to each other. We just
sent emojis and stickers.
Let's see if I can respond to stickers with them. Yeah, I can. So you can show my screen. So here, Leo, before he sent me this pup emoji, and I thought that was so cute. But all these rest of these things he sent me, I didn't think were so cute. For example, I don't want to say, "Oh, so cute" to
That's
that
jib-jab.
he sent me. But
my head, not my body.
I wanted to specifically say that I liked this, so I long pressed it. And then I give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a heart because I love that pup emoji so much.
Now, if you do that, does that lock me out? Can I do puppy? So you did the ZZZZ. I mean, can I do and add another? How long can this go on? In other words,
I don't know.
See your
Try
heart.
that.
I see your heart.
Okay, can you?
Long press. Yeah, I can do ha. Now, is that going to add? Oh no, it's on top of your heart.
Yes.
That's kind of mean.
So then I would
But
see
it looks
that
like the heart's still there.
under there. Yeah, you can have sticker wars with people so that you can comment in sticker wars.
Interesting. But you can kind of see that there was something under there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're in messages, let me show a tip here. This is a really cool one. Groups of messages have time and day when it started, like this conversation, this silly sticker conversation. But the problem is if it goes on for a while, as it has, the time and day stamps are no longer really valid. I never knew this, and I found this in the research that we did for the show. Watch this. Hold it and slide it to the right, and you'll get a timestamp.
Oh,
did you know that? I mean,
no.
This is an example of what's weird about lots of things in iOS 10. They're not obvious. How would you know to do that? I don't know how you would know. At least, you might try to swipe because swiping to the left sometimes allows you to delete things. But who would say, oh, yeah, well, you want to see what time in the middle of the night you got that text message? Swipe it over a little bit to the left. Notice it doesn't do a date because it's still all under the heading at the very top, the date. But we started this conversation at 1:09, and that one was 15 minutes later. And otherwise, you wouldn't know that, right? Mm-hmm. That was 1:30.
Yeah.
So I think that's a handy little
Yeah, that is a good
tip.
sticker tip. All right, so
not just stickers, anything in messages. Yeah.
Swipe
left to see
left
the date.
to see the date.
And time of that message.
Which could be good. The kids these days, they like the iMessage is very important to them. Like, oh, how late was that person?
Right.
That could mean a whole.
Right.
What?
It happens to me all the time. Like, when did that come in? Now, I'm not sure. I have to do some research. If that time is when you received it, or when
sent
it was sent. And I'll have to do some research, or maybe somebody knows that and can let us know.
That is okay.
That's a
So
handy one.
your tip is clearing all notifications.
Oh, so you want another one? All right. This is one of the complaints I've had for years, ever since Apple added notifications to iOS, was that I get a lot of notifications. I have to one by one swipe them to clear them, right? Well, with iOS 10, if you 3D touch, that's not a long touch, that's a press at the topmost X on your notifications, you can clear them all at once. Now, I remember we talked about this, and you said, well, I just let them fall off because they only last a couple of days. But I don't want days and days of notifications, so I really like that. Clear all notifications. So you 3D touch the X, the clear button at the top, and it'll give you the choice to clear all notifications.
So on your iPad, you can long touch it too. So,
does it work with a long touch?
Yeah, here, if you show my
Nice.
screen, you can see
Nice.
that it took a while. Like I definitely wouldn't. I just had to
Long touch.
Wait, okay. So then you have to long touch it and clear.
No, that's different. That's only going to clear the day.
That's only going to clear the day.
That one's been around for a while.
Goodness.
So that's because you don't have 3D touch on the iPad. And that's what we
sad.
mentioned at the beginning. Some of these techniques require 3D touch. In other words, a 6S or later.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you have to go now one by one through all your notifications day by day. I find that annoying.
Do you think Apple does that? Like gives like an extra sort of killer feature to the newer phones so that
No,
so
you
that
can't.
have to
The
upgrade?
problem, and by the way, a lot of these tips, the overarching tip is try 3D touch everywhere. But how would you do that on a non 3D touch device? It gives you what you've got now is 3 different things. Tap it does one thing. Tap and long hold might do another one, and tap and press hard might do a third thing. I don't know how you do it without 3D
Yeah,
touch to have
that's
3
true.
different choices.
Because we talked about that when you were gone. Because you can adjust the flashlight. Did you know this?
Yeah, I love that.
and
Here,
then-
show us that.
Okay, so it's only
use that
on
all the time.
the phone, so you can see my
In the
phone.
control center.
So but then you can 3D touch it on mine.
We can't see a thing.
Oh, you can't see. Oh, okay, here we go. There we go. So that's 3D touch.
Instead
and
of
I
just
do
turning the
bright
flashlight
light.
off and on, if you 3D touch it, you can choose bright, medium, and low.
But if you don't have 3D touch, if you have an old phone, you can't do
can't
that.
do it,
You
right.
can't do that.
Right.
See, that seems to me, why can't you long touch? Why can't they set a
Oh,
feature
I
for
see.
long
You're right.
touch?
You're right. If there's no long touch, you should be able to do what you do with 3. Maybe also because it would be confusing.
I think they just want people to upgrade.
Well, you should.
Yeah.
3D touch is cool.
You should.
You
All
should.
right. So that's a good tip. Mine is about Siri. So Siri can do all kinds of new things in iOS 10. We could sit here for hours and hours and tell you all of them, but you can just ask Siri yourself. So you could just ask her,
I particularly like this tip, and you'll see why.
what can you do?
She's
And
not
here
on camera.
are
You have to
some
put her over
things
there,
that
yeah.
you can ask me.
Yeah.
So I can.
Scroll down.
Oh, that-
Is there a
so
podcast choice in there?
there is a podcast, Play Podcasts.
Oh. I thought she was going to say listen to Twit.
Oh, well,
There
you
it
could
is. There it is. There it is.
let's search for radio. What? No, where does it say?
Somewhere in there it used to be. Oh, maybe they took us out.
Or was that? Oh,
And was it in podcasts? Or maybe it's... Oh, never mind.
was it an overcast or something?
No. Oh, well. Maybe.
Was it because you used it to listen to Twit?
No. A number of
was in-
people have
said,
over the last few months
"What
tweeted
did
me.
you
Did you
do
know
to-"
if you ask Siri, she'll suggest listening to Twit? On that text
What did
right
you do
there.
to Siri?
I must
to-
have. Well, I have called her kind of some names
Yeah.
lately. I yell at her a lot. Do you
So-
yell at Siri?
Yes, absolutely.
I yell at her all the time. In fact, Walt Mossberg, in his Recode or Vox column, he writes for both, said Siri's unnecessarily dumb, and Apple is kind of falling behind with Siri. And I can't say I disagree with him. Apple's got to step up here and make Siri better.
They did just hire an AI person. Ina Fried reported that in Recode
Sure, that
this
show
morning.
fix it. Just hire somebody.
They just
Apple.
threw some more money at the problem.
Oh, I guess it's my turn. I should do a tip now, huh? How about bedtime?
How about it?
Is
it
bedtime is bedtime an issue in your house?
Yes,
It is.
You mean for me or
Yeah,
for my children?
in
Yeah,
general.
like getting to bed at the right time. Yes,
And we know that the best thing you could do is to go to bed and wake up at a consistent time Monday through Friday. You wouldn't even need or actually all the time if you could do it. You wouldn't need an alarm clock. So they've added it. If you go to the clock app, there's a new button at the bottom. There was always world clock, alarm, stopwatch timer. What's this? There's a little bed icon. Bedtime. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day are keys to healthy sleep. Bedtime can help. What time would you like to wake up? 7. Which days of the week should the alarm go off? Well, it says you should do it every day unless but I'm not going to sleep in. How many hours? It doesn't ask you when you should wake up. It says how many hours do you need? Most adults need between 7 and 8. I'm an old man, so I'm going to say 9. And when would you like a bedtime reminder? This is even better. So instead of just, it's not an alarm to go to bed, but it's going to say 15 minutes before or 20 or whatever. And then what do you want to hear when you wake up? And I have to say they've really improved the alarm clock sounds. Can you hear those? I don't hear them. Maybe they're not playing. There you go.
Oh.
I like birdsong myself. These are much less intrusive. Do you not hear that?
I heard one.
Huh. Hear that one?
Yes.
It's very quiet.
It's lovely. I love those sounds.
I don't know. That is a terrible alarm if that's the sound. That's pretty. So these aren't alarms. These are more like, Leo, you said you wanted to wake up now. Maybe it'd be a good idea to open your eyes and face the day.
We should start iOS today like that every time.
Kind of relaxing.
I feel like I should talk quietly.
Anyway, did you know about that or did I?
I think that when you set up, it asked me if I wanted to do that, and I was like,
you
no,
said
I don't want you to
absolutely
tell me what time to go
no
to bed.
circumstances. You'll also be able to see your sleep bars, so you'll know, And that requires some sort of tracker. But if you have a tracker, then it'll know.
Huh.
Neat, huh?
Yes.
Look at that. Bedtime.
Good. I wish I had a consistent bedtime.
No, it's good. It's good for everybody. Yeah, you should.
Okay, so you probably already know that you can swipe up on your phone or iPad to get, like I just showed you with the flashlight, and you can get the camera and you can get sound and all that stuff. But if you really want to go to your camera quickly, you can just swipe right on the lock screen. So,
Really?
So let me go to my lock screen,
Swipe
and then
right on
you
the lock
swipe
screen.
right, and there's your camera.
Oh, it's just right there.
Yep.
What happens if you swipe left? Anything? Yeah, you get your little, notifications and widgets. You get widgets.
Even on the lock screen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you get your widgets.
You get your widgets. Look at that.
Yeah.
By the way, a big tip. Edit your widgets. Every time you install an app, not every time, many times you get new widgets. And it's a good idea to really think about what's in your widgets, because once you get used to using widgets, that can really save you a lot of time. For instance, I set up a widget that is a direct call for the people I call the most. In fact, what I did is, and you can do this very easily, you go into your favorites in your phone app, right? And I'm not going to do it because I don't want to show you any phone numbers, but add not just, when you add, let's see, how can I describe this? When you add somebody to your favorites, add both their cell phone number and their messages number. Okay, so I could show you this because it doesn't have any phone numbers in it. But these are my favorites. And you notice I have 2 entries for Lisa. I have her mobile number and I have her messages number. And that way, in the widgets, I'll just swipe over to the widgets, I get 2 entries for her, mobile and messages. So it's a very quick one-touch way to start a message thread with her. So add in your favorites the numbers for messages, which is probably the same number, and the number for the phone number. And that way you can one-touch call or message to the people you want the most. And you can show, I think, up to 8 different entries in there. So
Is that the favorites widget?
yeah. No. Yes, that's you have to have the favorites widget. Yeah. That's the overall tip, which is edit the widgets and look, because there's some really useful widgets. Here's I use the calendar widget, the weather widget. Actually, I've kind of come to like Apple News. When I was on vacation, I needed a quick one-touch, fast way, because I didn't have a lot of internet access, to keep up to date on the election news. And news ended up being very, very good for that. So I added it as opposed to CNN or one of the other news apps as a widget. I have reminders, notes. I always keep my batteries in there because I want to know not only how my iPhone's doing, but also my Apple Watch. I like to do swarm check-ins. I know I'm the last person still to use Foursquare, but that makes it easy. I just checked into the East Side studio. Of course, you and I and Renee Ritchie are keeping track of our circles, so I have my activity there. This is a nice little app called Just Press Record. It adds a one-touch record button to your Apple Watch and to your widgets, so I can actually just press that and immediately start recording audio.
Please don't record what we're saying. I don't want anyone to know. This is
No
a
one
private
should. No
conversation
one should know
we're
this.
having.
And the nice thing about Just Press Record is it saves it to the to iCloud, so it's saved immediately to the network. I had a fantasy at one point of maybe doing some audio blogging that way. That would be kind of cool. Then I also use Authy as my authentication app, and so there's all the authentication numbers. Having them in the widgets really makes it fast and easy to pull up. Same thing with, I might need to know where to go for lunch. I have a button there. That was really useful as we traveled. That's a widget from the Apple Maps program, the Nearby widget. And then my hearing aids work with the iPhone, and actually this controls them. This is a widget that controls them. So strongly suggest you go through your widgets, edit them, and you see, I even see 2 new widgets have been added. I could add remember we did the Shakespeare quote of the day last week? I've been actually having a lot of fun. I'm going to add my Shakespeare quote of the day to my widgets. Once you do this, once you really curate your widgets, you'll start using them more, and they becomes more useful.
Everyone should curate their widgets.
Curate your widgets, my friends.
You also had a calculator tip.
You want a calculator tip?
Yep.
Actually, I was going to show you a swipe up tip, because you mentioned swiping up and how useful that is. This one I had never heard of. This is wild. When you're in Photos, Apple's Photos, and you're looking at a photo. Let's look at a recent photo here. Oh, this is the places. Let's go into the photos and look at a recent photo. Let's say of a beer. I was in Belgium. I took a picture of my beer. Did you know this? Get ready for this. Swipe up the picture, and you're going to get more information. Nearby photos, other photos I took in that area, related pictures. In this case, they said the related pictures are other travels around the world. So this is, and then one that I think you're going to show a little later, so I won't steal your thunder. Show photos from this day, which
Don't
is
steal my thunder.
which is really handy. So in Photos, it's not. This is the one thing that bugs me a little bit about iOS 10. They've added all this stuff, but how would you know? You know, you'd have to watch this show or read up on it. I didn't know. But you can just swipe up any image and you'll get more related stuff about that image.
Look what it shows for me. So here's this picture I took of Becky and I over the weekend or last week.
Swipe up.
And then it shows another picture of me. So like it recognized my face and said, "Oh, look, you
and Becky,
and
I
the
think.
location."
Yeah, and location.
Well, I guess I don't have any. But other, like, we were in San Francisco.
And then other slideshows maybe.
I don't know how these. I guess these are related because I'm in them. But
I don't know. Who knows the mysterious ways of Apple AI?
Yes, and I'm always surprised that Apple is smart like that. Should I go to?
I'm doing them out of order, so you do whatever you want.
Okay, this is crazy. Well, you brought up the one that you weren't going to steal my thunder on.
So show it.
This is a 3D touch on Photos. So
by the way, your flashlight's still on.
Oh my!
your battery is dying.
I
as we
always
speak.
forget. It seems like it should turn off automatically or ask me.
Yeah, but then you'd fall, like you'd be going down the basement steps, and it'd turn off, and you go
I should have a reminder.
3D
to get my head out of the
touch.
shot. Okay, so let's 3D touch Photos. If you just want a memory, what was going on a year ago? There we go.
I love that.
And there
I
we
use
go.
that a lot. I
Those
love
are all the
that.
pictures I took just 1 year ago, which is great. Like when you think about, oh, look at that. There
Isn't
we
that
are
fun?
a year ago.
Yeah.
Just for a quick little memory jab, if you will.
So it's the nostalgia button.
Because I don't like it when I get all those. I used to get those emails. It was like, do you want to see your photos from a year ago? Well, I will decide if I want to see my photos from a year ago, and I will decide it by 3D touching.
I like the ones where it's like even a longer time ago. Here's a
Yes.
cute 3D touch. This is in your control center. I had no idea that this existed. The calculator button. Do you use that like for tips and stuff, things like that? So that's a really nice thing. You could this new control center. They have a little more real estate because they have more pages, and they've always had a calculator in there. But watch this: 3D touch the calculator. It shows the result of your last calculation.
Is that how much of a raise I'm getting? Is that what that calculation
That's
was?
what that is: $10,950,000, and press that to copy it. So if you do a calculation and you want to save that calculation, or you forget, you do the calculation and then you come back later and say, oh yeah, I could use that. Let me paste that number into a message. Just get it from the control center. It's right there.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Little things like that. Again, I don't know how you discover it. My suggestion is go around 3D touch everything.
Mm-hmm. Just 3D touch
Except
everything.
for Megan. I tried it with her and she does not like it.
Just regular touching is all.
There he is. Just do that.
Okay, my next tip is you had a similar tip that you sent, and so let me know if yours was different or you just didn't read through mine and gave the same tip.
Okay.
This is closing all your Safari tabs. So you've got tons of stuff open.
You said that one too?
Yes. and you're going to do a show and you think, oh gosh, I don't want everyone to see everything that I looked at. So here are all my Safari tabs that are open and I want to get rid of them quickly. I long press done and I close all 8 tabs and they're gone.
Really like that.
And no one sees
it's a little different from mine.
Oh, really?
Well, it's the same, but it's a little different. If you go into the tab setting, you can also long press plus, and it will show you recently closed tabs.
Oh,
I don't have any.
Different.
Yeah. So, yeah, done will give you a chance to close all tabs if you have. I just don't have a bunch open here, and then long pressing, not force touch, but or 3D touch, but long pressing will show you on the plus. That's counterintuitive. On the plus is to add tabs, but if you long press it, it's to show you what you just closed.
Huh.
Counterintuitive.
It is.
Don't you think?
I think, well, maybe because you just closed it and you wanted to open something, right?
Well,
like you were going to, but maybe I just closed it. I'm going to open it.
I guess this is the problem I have in general with a lot of this stuff. It's just hidden. It's just secret. And there's no obvious way to even deduce it. What will happen? You just have to try it.
And they're probably just hiding it from us just to be mean, right?
Just
like
to be
there's
mean.
no good reason for hiding all these features. Of
I
course
have a theory.
I have a theory too.
What's your theory?
My theory is that too many features confuse people. It's
Right.
like that's why McDonald's menu is so basic,
Right.
because if you have too many features, you're going to get confused. So they hide them.
The secret menu at McDonald's, if you know it, you can ask for it. Right? We're showing you like secret menu
Right.
stuff.
Is there a secret menu at McDonald's?
Oh, yeah.
I knew there was a secret menu in In-N-Out
In-N-Out
Burger.
has a much better secret menu. McDonald's has, for instance, you can go to McDonald's and ask for a puppy patty. Did you know that?
Is it made of puppies?
No, it's not made of puppies. It's just a patty. One of their regular burger patties. I mean, look, I haven't worked at McDonald's since 1974 or 73, so it could have changed in the 40 years intervening. But the other thing you can do, if you want, you can get a grilled cheese.
Well, you can do that at In-N-Out Burger, too.
Right.
But you can do that at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what they do is they got cheese. They call it cheese anyway. It's something orange. And then, and I used to work in the grill, so I knew this. If somebody asked for grilled cheese, you flip the buns over, so the inside's the outside, and you put the cheese in between, and you put it in the hamburger press. Boom, grilled cheese.
Oh.
And that's on the secret menu. Huh. Although, if anybody works at McDonald's today, you might tell us if that is still a possibility.
Well, Eric Duckman posted secretmenus.com/McDonald's.
Yeah, secretmenus.com has a bunch of. So this is the one I felt guilty about.
Okay.
Because I showed you this one before. But it's worth repeating because remember, they changed the behavior with iOS 10 of the lock screen. So, and that was, I guess, because they wanted to have Apple Pay work on the lock screen. We were talking about that the other day. So it used to be I think, do you have it set up the old-fashioned way where you have to do a second touch? You unlock it, and then you have to press the home screen again? No. Well, I missed the old way of doing it where the fingerprint reader is sufficient. So you just do this, and it's unlocked, right? Whoops. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the Siri. I got overly aggressive. You just do that, and it unlocks. And the way you do that is in general, accessibility. By the way, another overarching tip. Play around in accessibility. It's not just accessibility. It actually, for instance, if you don't like the motion, a lot of people don't like motion and all this swoopy doopy stuff. You can turn that off, but it's in accessibility. You'd think that'd be in the regular settings.
Well, here's a reduced motion tip that we showed when you were gone, that if you have that turned off, then you can't see the lasers or the balloons or all those things.
It's if you have epilepsy, they don't want to trigger a seizure, right?
But then a lot of people were saying, like, I can't see those lasers. I can't see those fireworks you were sending me. And that's because you have reduced motion turned off. So, but
that's a good tip, too.
Mike Hurley said that he saw that something that led him to believe that they were going to fix that later, that those would still work with reduced motion turned off.
So my tip is, again, go to General Accessibility and scroll down to the Home button entry here. And this is where we go back to the original rest finger to open. In other words, I don't have to double tap the Home button to unlock. I can just rest my finger on the fingerprint reader, and it will unlock. It will unlock the screen. And you just turn that on there, just like that.
That's a good tip.
That's actually, I've shown it before. That's why I didn't count it against my 5.
Oh, okay. So that's how you had some extra ones.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Get
we get
rid
them all?
of. Well, no, we have a couple more. I think
Okay.
this is more than 10. Some bonus tips.
Yeah.
Get rid of Siri app suggestions. Do you ever? We showed the app
I really
suggestions.
don't want those because they're meaningless to me.
Right. So
It seems to be mostly stuff I just used.
right.
Right?
It is. So why wouldn't you find? I find them useful because it is often an app that I've just used. But if you want to get rid of
Well,
them,
notice it's not in my widgets.
yeah, you got rid of them. Well, I guess you could just remove the widget.
Yeah,
but
that's
if you
what I
want
did.
to stop them,
Show-
you go general,
Oh.
and then it's
Don't have her
in
think about it at all.
Spotlight search.
Yeah.
And then Siri suggestions. You want to turn those off. Siri can suggest apps and search keywords based on your usage history before you start typing. So you can just turn that off. So I guess maybe that's you just don't even want Siri thinking about what apps you are using.
Enigma
But I do.
and Scooter X are telling us that there are additional settings with reduced motion in 10.1, the next edition of
Okay.
iOS, which should come out actually while we're doing the show, probably any minute now, right? All right, I got one. I got
You
one
do.
more. Sure.
You have two more.
Two more?
You do. I'll remind you of the other one that your other one about health and
Yeah.
one
let me show you the
about
health one.
Dropbox.
Did you know? Oh, the Dropbox one. Yeah. Did you know about the health one?
I knew about it on the watch,
Yeah. So
but not on the phone.
So I like this summary. It's a little different from the one you get. So if you 3D touch the health app, you can, of course, get your medical ID. By the way, if you haven't filled that out, please do. That's the in case of emergency information that shows up on the lock screen if you have a heart attack or something. But today will show you how you've done today. So I have 6 stand hours. I've burnt 774 active calories, 1,728 steps. I think this is kind of an easier display to use, frankly, than the activity monitor. So resting energy, exercise minutes, how long I worked out, how many flights I've climbed. My heart rate is 95 beats per minute, which means, geez Louise, I must be nervous. And so
I have
all
that
of that
effect on people.
Yeah, and by the way, of course, you've got historical on that as well, so you can go back and look through time. But 3D touching the health app will give you today, and that's a very handy tip. And then,
You can 3D touch the activity app too.
what do you get then?
Well, I see who I'm sharing with, which is you, so I can.
Oh, I still get Siri suggestions.
so
You're right.
I'm sharing with my dad and you are sharing correctly,
Right.
and me. So I get
Yeah, I like to share. That's
So we can
actually been
see
very
what you
helpful.
did last week.
I
So
work out more now because Renee
Look at
Ritchie and you are such fiends.
238% of your workout that day on October 13th. You were really trying to beat us.
I really was overachiever. So no, I take it back. I thought Siri suggestions was in the widgets. It's not. It's in the search when you slide down.
So that's why you have to turn it off.
That's
in
why I have to
Spotlight
turn it
search.
off.
So
And
you
I
can
don't
turn that
like
off.
this because look, these are the last 4 apps I've used.
Were you paying attention to how to turn it off, or do I need to tell you again?
No, I paid attention.
Okay, good.
But
'Cause you can
that's
watch
not a
it.
good suggestion. I mean, what are these suggestions supposed to be? The last 4 apps you used?
Yeah.
I guess it's handy because you can go back to it real quickly, right?
I use it all the time because I have so many apps, and there's no way for
I
me
guess
to.
you're right.
Yeah.
Well, what I do is it's exactly the reason why I'm in this in the first place is I slide it down and then I don't dig through my folders. I just start typing the first few
Right.
letters of the app. That's the easiest way. That's actually a good tip that maybe you haven't figured out yet. Most people who use an iPhone for a while figure that out.
Do you have any more tips? Do you want to save the Dropbox one for later? Or
Well,
did you wanna-
if you haven't used the new Dropbox, they updated it a couple of days ago. And they've added a great feature. I won't demo it. We'll just talk about it. They've added a great feature. If you have PDFs in there, you don't have to use another app to sign the PDF. You can actually sign it within Dropbox. So they have annotations and signing built into Dropbox now. That's part of the new Dropbox app. I think that's a nice feature.
Yeah, that is great. Well, you learned a lot, and we're not done. But if you want to learn more, maybe you have a team where you want to teach your whole team a skill. Perhaps you might want to try LinkedIn Learning for that.
Oh, I was just going to say, have everybody watch this show.
Yeah, well,
But we're a little bit narrower.
Yes.
LinkedIn Learning really has everything. The shelf of skills, the shelf life of skills these days is short. You know, in school, when we were in school, you could learn, a few things and they would still be true today. Nowadays, you're going to need to update your skill set all the time. Many of today's fastest growing categories in business didn't even exist 5 years ago, right? How to use Google Docs, right? Google Sheets. Maybe you learned Excel in school, but now how to use Google Sheets. Well, LinkedIn Learning is here to help. Personalized, expert-led, on-demand e-learning from LinkedIn. Keep your team engaged. LinkedIn Learning is a perfect way to promote professional development. You can actually, and we do this, give it to your staff and have them, and it's a win for everybody. They're thrilled because they've got these additional skills. You're going to get a team that works better and has the skills you need or your organization needs. And LinkedIn will help you identify those skills and achieve set goals, create personalized recommendations using network intelligence. So it's actually pretty sophisticated. And how many courses online? 9,000 courses, and they're adding 25 a week now. Courses, of course, taught by world-class industry experts, topics ranging from leadership skills to design principles, even hard skills like computer programming. You can learn anytime. Your team can learn anytime with bite-sized segments that can be viewed on any device, both online and offline. That's really nice. And these quick, fast hit videos make it very easy to just pick up that one thing you need. How many times you sit down at a word processor or a spreadsheet or some environment and go, how do you do this? There's going to be a quick video you can watch at LinkedIn and learn. It's a perfect way to help team members close skills gaps without interrupting your latest project. Now, if you want it for your whole team, as we do for a company, it's very affordable, $2,000 for the whole team. But they also have individual trials as well. In fact, you can get that one for free. Go to learning.linkedin.com/twit. Check it out. learning.linkedin.com/twit. You can request a demo for your organization or get a free trial just for yourself. learning.linkedin.com/twit. We thank LinkedIn Learning for their support of iOS Day. I think that's a natural match. I mean, that's what we do here in a very narrow slice, but this is everything. And they have, by the way, a lot of iOS stuff too.
So last week I promised I would make a dongle holder so that you wouldn't lose your dongle or leave it places. I actually have left my dongle in my purse.
Yeah.
And so I don't have it right now.
So you don't have a dongle, but I happen to have...
I have no idea where my dongle is.
This is why you need a dongle holder.
Yes.
No, so I keep my dongle on my headphones, but oh shoot. Oh, good. Here it is.
Whew.
I have. So these are my headphones. I don't use the Apple headphones. I use these nice Etymotic headphones. I really like them, and I didn't want to give them up. Otherwise, I wouldn't need a dongle. But the dongles, if you want to use the traditional mini jacks, and then I have a little in pouch that holds my headphones, and then a little partition in the pouch, so I keep my dongle in there.
All right.
So there you
So
go.
here's what you need. First, you need your dongle.
These are the headphone to lightning port jack dongles.
And then you're going to need like a keychain ring, like so.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. Oh. And then you're going to need a pair of headphones that you want to destroy. Do you want to destroy your Etymotics?
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Why destroy?
Because you're going to cut off this part. You're going to use the male part. And you're going to snip it.
You're going to cut off the male part? You've been wanting to do that for a long time.
You're going to snip the male part.
This is a little Freudian.
So
what?
I'm not using your Etymotics.
I don't recommend this.
Look at these headphones. No one's going to use these headphones.
Okay. Move them over a little
garbage.
bit because they're a little obscured by
They're garbage
head.
headphones.
Okay.
No one's going to use these.
Okay.
Everybody has garbage headphones.
So these are headphones you're not going to use.
Right. And then you're going to need Sugru, which I got this at Target. It was like about $10.
Sugru is like putty, right?
Yeah. Okay. But then it stays in place.
Does it harden?
It hardens after a while, yes. So that's all you need.
They call it moldable glue.
Moldable glue.
So take some headphones that you don't mind losing.
Right. And then you're going to snip off the male part.
Oh, dear. Right at the top there. Very tight. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
There we go. I snipped off the male part. I really like.
I don't know why my
that
mouth is dry. It really kind of bothers me slightly. Okay.
And you know what? These aren't probably the best. I mean, here are these that I was going to use.
You could use your old
Apple headphones. That would be a cleaner snip, I think, right there. Okay. And then let's get out the Sugru. Do you want your dongle holder to be red, yellow, or blue? Because the Sugru came with 3 different colors.
I like red.
Okay, let's do red. Okay.
This is kind of cool stuff. What do people use this for?
Well, Burke's the one who gave me the idea of it in the first place.
Oh, you could use it to reinforce cables. Yeah.
Is that what you use it for?
One of the things. Stop doors from banging or protect furniture. Although, oddly, the protect furniture picture is of a teapot. So protect furniture. Oh, I guess from the teapot. They'd make a little ugly little Sugru teapot holder.
Did I mention that I found this on CNET? This wasn't my original idea. I should give them credit.
Okay.
So from the time you open the pack of Sugru, you have approximately 30 minutes before it starts to set.
Oh, okay.
So mold it around the housing. So, actually, this isn't clean, but that doesn't really matter. You're going to just mold it.
No, because the Sugru's going to obscure it.
Yeah, you're going to mold it, make it pretty.
Right here. There you go.
There, mold it into that shape. You could probably, I don't know, make it into whatever shape you wanted to make it into. You don't want fingerprints on it?
Oh, yeah, because fingerprints will stay.
Yeah.
Burke is a Sugru expert. Wow.
And
I kind of now I'm thinking of some Sugru projects I could do.
Oh, where's my thing? Okay, and then you
put a keychain in it.
Yeah, so I guess I mold it around the keychain, right?
Yeah, right.
Mold it right.
Or you can put the keychain through it, but I think that's better. Yeah,
mold
do it
it
like
around
that.
the keychain.
Yeah. So you've made a little. Oh, I get where you're going with this.
And then,
so now you have the headphone jack.
Right. Oh wait.
On a keychain.
Yeah. Don't cover the part where you need to put the keys on.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Actually, and rotate the keychain a little bit because you want it to rotate still, so you can
move it
around. You're going to put this on your keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then So then.
Oh, this is great. And then the dongle goes on there.
Yeah.
But it's available at any time.
Right.
On your keychain.
Here you go. Isn't it beautiful? I mean,
Wow.
that looks like it's designed by Apple.
Wow, it
Yeah.
does.
Look,
Johnny Ive is right now spinning in his grave.
You should give that to Burke and have him shape it, and then.
No, I'll be doing it for the rest of the show.
Okay, good. It's soothing, right?
It's very soothing. It's very pleasant.
So now don't say we didn't do any projects on here.
That's kind of neat.
You might want to wash your hands. Like my hands are going to stick together. Oh.
Burke really knows his Sugru.
He does. Thank you, Burke. There's my Sugru cloth.
Does it when it hardens? Does it get hard, or is it kind of still cushy?
It gets
still a little flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is really great. I think you could go on the Today Show. Why don't you send that to Becky Worley? She could do it on GMA.
Yeah.
I think that's just a natural.
You could probably use duct tape too.
And then whenever you needed it, you can't do it now because the Sugru hasn't hardened, but you just pull that off and you put it on your headphones.
Yeah, maybe you should take that out now so it doesn't harden in there. I don't know.
Or you could just leave it on your headphones.
Right.
But the problem is some people, as I do, have multiple headphones. That's why I ended up these are $9. I bought 4 of them. And I put them on all the headphones.
Yeah, you could do that. And Chase Julian wrote me, and he said that he uses a heat sink. I use a small piece of color-matched heat shrink tubing.
Oh, yeah,
shrink tubing.
That's what electricians
to semi-permanently attach the lightning dongle to my favorite headphones. That way I wouldn't have to worry about loosening the dongle.
It becomes permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thinking.
All right.
I usually just keep it right on the headphones. Problem is I also carry multiple phones, some of which still have headphone ports. So I can't if you only use an iPhone, then you just would leave it on, right?
I'm going to use that for my keychain because the only way I ever use it is one of our cars still has the auxiliary port.
It's things like that, right?
So it's on the car.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. And does this have a scent? Yeah.
It probably, I don't know.
It's not really strong. Doesn't smell like Play-Doh, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Smells more like, I don't know, kind of maybe I would guess this is what Chernobyl smells like now. Kind of like that.
You should do advertising for Sugru. It's what Chernobyl smells like.
Not like right after the nuclear accident, but like later, like decades later. It's like old. It's like old Chernobyl.
It definitely smells like. Don't give that to kids. Don't let kids eat that.
It's probably
smell.
Let's see. Is it toxic?
Well, shall we move on?
Oh, wait a minute. It contains. That is a long. This is a long word. Methyl. Trismethylethylketamine gixylane. 3, I'm not even done. Aminopropythorylizine may produce an allergic reaction if medical advice is needed. Have product container or label at hand because the doctor will want to read this. Keep out of reach of children. If skin irritation develops, get medical attention. If on skin, wipe dry with a dry tissue. And then wash with soap and water. I just have a feeling like in a few years,
It's going to be like saccharin.
Yeah, the FDA is going to say, you know that Sugru stuff? Get it out of your house.
Right. Well,
It smells like Chernobyl.
last week, do you remember we talked about live photos and you were showing us all your live photos from your trip and you said, oh, I had no idea there was audio in here. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, I went on a quest to find out if there was a way to remove the audio from your live photos.
I know one way.
You do?
Yeah.
How?
Well, go ahead. You say.
Well, motion stills was one way.
That's the way I was going to say.
It has a mute button on there.
Yeah, that's the Google app.
Yeah, so
it's exactly what I was going to say. And actually, Motion Stills is a great app. It's a free app. Google. It's funny that Google makes this. What it does is it opens the Apple Live Photos and turns it into either an animated GIF or something that can be displayed in other places because Live Photos only, doesn't work everywhere. But you can, you download it and then you process it.
So why is it raining? So let's see if this one has.
And there's a button.
And then
to
the
turn
mute.
off sound.
Yeah. So here's a live photo.
It's so
I don't know
funny
if you
because
can
that's
hear.
exactly what I was going to suggest. I love this program, by the way. I use it like crazy because it's a nice way to share live photos on sites where they don't support live photos, like Facebook.
Motion Stills is free, right?
Yep.
Because the other app that Gardner von Holt recommended is called Audio Tool, and it's not free. I think it's about $1.99, and it does a few other things. You can add audio to your live photos. Or
That's kind of neat.
Remove the audio, or you can extract audio.
That's kind of neat. And it would be nice also to be, I don't know, can you import it into iMovie? It'd be nice to take live photos because really what a live photo is one high quality still, and then a lower quality 3-second video. And they're they look like one file, but actually it's two different files. It'd be nice if you could open it in iMovie. I bet you can.
So can you trim in Motion Stills?
No.
Because this is what you can trim.
Right. This is like a little bit more like an editor.
Yeah, I think it's like $1.99. Audio Tool is what it's called. So thank you, Gardner, for that.
That's actually a good tip.
And now I think, we have some more feedback. Brian Parker writes, I was putting all my apps back on my iPhone 7, and while in the App Store getting my eBay app, I noticed an ad for another app. It's a competitor of eBay and listed above my eBay app search results.
Oh, I hate that.
If Tim is going to give all his money away, why not start with keeping the App Store pure? I don't. So there are ads in the App Store.
Is Tim giving all his money away?
I don't know. I don't know what that
Give
meant.
me some.
But
I think he means when he passes.
Right. He's not. Yeah. He's not keeping any of this, giving it all away. So, but yeah. So there are ads in the App Store. It's sad. Let's move on. Steve Cullum writes, I was listening to your episode on October 10th and heard you say that you couldn't find a way to access the new Kindle Prime reading within the iOS app. So remember I said it was hard to search for the books that you wanted. You couldn't just do a search and find only results that were free in Prime Reading. But if you go to the book browser in the menu, you will see it. It's not really a search engine per se, but you can see what is popular in Prime Reading. And under that, you can view the entire list by clicking Prime Reading. That will take you to a full list of all the books, and you can start from there. So, Prime Reading is good depending on your reading likes and dislikes.
It's kind of like walking into a bookstore that doesn't have a card catalog or a searchable index and just browsing around.
Yes. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the selection of Prime Reading.
It's very limited.
Yeah. My dad has this, before he dies, he's going to read like the 100 best books, or maybe it's the 1,000 best books.
How many of the 1,000 best books are on Prime?
None. None. Like none of the books that he wanted to read.
Zero.
Like he's compiled all these lists, like Times 100 best list, and like
Hey, that's
New
neat.
Yorker and he reads through them. He reads the most bizarre things, like The Lightning Thief, or like Are You
Wonderful.
There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Like
Wonderful.
It's like he reads
Margaret Cho.
Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. It's Judy Blume.
Judy Blume, that's
and
right.
It's weird that a 70-year-old man is reading that book, but he's my dad, so. But it's got other great
Is that really
books.
one of the 1,000 best books of all time?
I don't know if it's the 1,000 best books,
maybe
but
it should be.
He's compiled all these
It's
lists.
young adult.
So he's going by the list and reading every one. And he said he went and looked, and none of them are in there. So.
I actually have, I should give this to you, a book that's a book of all the best books that you should read. It's longer than 100 or 1,000. It's a
He
lot.
would like to look at
But it's got
that.
descriptions. It's good. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I got it for the same reason. I thought someday I'll be as old as Brian.
Someday.
I'll have time.
It's good to have goals, I think.
Oh, I love that idea. What a great thing. He's retired or no? He's still working,
He
sort
still
of.
works, yeah.
Yeah. but casual, like
Yes.
off and on. So he has more time. This is something. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
it's great.
So yeah, they're not. But you know,
I would
you
love.
have-
Gosh, that to me is heaven, right? To have all the time you want to read.
I'll take
Love
over for you.
You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
You can make it so,
All right. Well, should we do our app caps?
Is it time?
It's time. Yes.
All right, let me put my hat on. This is where we celebrate a great application by wearing funny hats. No one really understands. It began in the mists of time. Nobody really understands, including us, why we do this or why we pick the hats we pick.
I don't even understand why we pick the hats we pick. I know last week we had some problems with them getting in the way.
This one is
of
going to
our-
be just as bad. But I will show you. You want a little tip?
Yes.
You can fold that brim any way you want.
Oh,
It could turn. That hat could turn into any hat.
perfect.
It could be.
That's-
Now you look like Napoleon Bonaparte.
This is perfect.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, do you want to start or should I start?
No, you always start. I don't know why you always
Okay.
ask me that.
Well, I mean, I always ask you that because mine's so good that I'm afraid that yours is going
Actually,
to pay
you're
a
right.
little
I should
comparison.
start. Go ahead. You started.
Okay, so this is Cosmo. I showed him on Tech News today on Friday, and he's just gotten better with age. The 3 days that I've played with him, he's from Anki, the little race cars. You reviewed them.
I have the Yankees. I gave them to Henry for Christmas a couple of years ago, and he never took them with him, and so I still have them at home.
We have them at
You
home
have them too, right? Mm-hmm. They're smart cars. They follow the track automatically. So this is kind of a robotics company already.
Yeah, it's a robot. It's a they're an AI robotics company that makes toys.
Right.
And so first I have to connect him to the Wi-Fi.
This is like what you do with the cars as well. They have their own little Wi-Fi transmitter inside, and you join them, or they join you. You join them, and then you connect. Okay.
Okay, so now he's waking up, and there he is.
Tony Wang is over there with a camera.
And so he
Oh,
has
he's kind of like Wally.
he does look like Wally.
He's got little eyes.
He
Oh, that's so cute.
and they have an in-house composer for this music because isn't it like movie music? Like the
It's
music
really
is
good.
part of what.
It ties to the personality of the Osmo's having a hard time getting out.
So we can make him do some things. We'll
Come
make
on,
him pick
Cosmo.
up a cube.
Oh, there he goes. He got out.
And
Wow, this is cinematic.
it's amazing what they
He
can
has a
do with just
voice?
those two little eyes.
Now, does he get smarter and learn?
He has been learning. So you play games with him and you have him do tasks, and he gets
Love
smarter.
the music. This is like we're making a little movie here.
Because it's amazing, like those two little eyes, how animated that is.
Yeah.
So he's
Well, we should mention, you told me Pixar was involved in the development of this. So that explains a lot.
yes, and DreamWorks. I think a designer also from DreamWorks.
Oh, so it wasn't Pixar. It was a guy who used to work at Pixar.
Right, it was
Okay,
a guy.
got it.
Yeah, because that's what I've had a few people ask. Like, it seems like Pixar might say, hey, that looks a little bit too much like
I
Wally.
don't think it looks like the physical thing doesn't look like Wally. It's just those eyes. It's very personified.
So
What
now
does that mean? Cosmo is sparked.
You play games and you earn sparks, and so when I've used up 6 sparks, or I've used up 2 sparks in order to make him pick up a cube. He's a little bit confused
Is there an
because they're
in-app
stacked.
sparking, or how do you?
You play games.
Do you buy stuff?
No,
or
you don't buy stuff.
Okay.
I mean, you buy him for $180, and then you're done
All right.
buying.
Then you're done, as you should be.
But I have had a little bit of trouble showing him on the show because it requires patience to see what he does.
So you tried this a little bit yesterday.
I tried it. We
Saturday
showed him
after the
on
new
TNT
screensavers.
right after I opened him, and then we played with him a little bit on the screen.
And I was a little. Oh! It looks like he's doing it. He's picked up the cube. He's got the companion cube. It lit up, so it has some intelligence too, I guess. Now he's put it down. What is he trying to do? Put it in his little charger.
He's just picking it up.
Just picking it up. That's all he's doing. He did it.
So you can tell him what
he
to
earned
do.
a spark there.
Yes, or he can just do things.
So the theory is, as you use him, he'll become more sophisticated.
Yes, and he has facial recognition. He's a camera inside there, and he has facial
What?
recognition. So when you look at him, you give him your name, and he knows your name. So Tony, see if he will recognize you. Can you look at him and do the camera, or is that too? That's probably hard.
He's never met me. Should I go over?
You want to go over and meet him?
Well, I don't know. Oh. I think he just recognized Tony.
There's also
Yeah, he says,
Toner. There's also Explorer mode. Would you like to see Explorer mode?
Yeah, is that like patrol mode for the BB-8 where he just wanders around?
Well, no, where I can control him from my iPad. So if you show my iPad, you can
Oh, so
see.
you've actually, you could send him somewhere to take pictures.
Yeah, so there he is.
Oh, there's Tony.
And I can move the camera up and let's see.
So he recognized the face, I would guess, because he was
Yeah.
framing Tony's face. That's neat.
There,
Yeah, look,
yep.
he says, "I see you."
It's the pictures are not uploaded or saved anywhere. They have, they're careful with privacy.
But it will take pictures that you can have.
Yes,
Because
you
I
could
saw
screenshot.
pictures that you took of your neighbor's dog.
Screenshot. So I can.
Oh, you screenshot it. I got it.
I can go forward.
He just drove into the camera.
Yeah.
Oh my, he's not happy.
I can steer him.
Does he get angry, or is he always?
He gets angry if you're playing games with him and he loses. He gets super angry. He's kind of a petulant child.
Well, he should have a personality.
He really does.
That's what I think is most interesting about this is they've personified this machine. I mean, however smart it may or may not be, it's.
Do you want to see the most exciting part about Cosmo?
Yeah.
Okay. He has an SDK. And so you can program him to do other things.
Oh.
But I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I like this.
So I guess you use Python?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I don't, and then you can tell him behaviors. I know someone, so I haven't gotten past this, but I will.
Looks like it's loading.
Oh, is that what an SD,
Yeah.
that it's loading? But I can show you what
it just shows you how long it's been in it. I can't quite read it. Progress bar.
Well, so let me show you, or maybe, do you have that tweet, Brian, of someone?
Somebody's uploading, tweeting programs.
Yeah, so let's see what someone's already done.
I've got Cosmo doing some movie quotes. What?
Sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, HAL 9000 in 2001.
Do you want to play a game?
Oh, War Games. It's, what's the name of the Whopper, right? Yeah.
Never send a human to do a machine's job.
Oh, what's that from? I recognize it, but I can't remember where it's from.
I didn't hear what he
So
said.
Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet.
Robbie
So
the
I'm gonna
robot.
get
This
with-
is really so you can do voices.
Yeah, so I'm going to get with Patrick Delahanty and see if he can help me with the SDK and see what we can do.
Dolph Mercillo, who
Dolph Mercillo, thank you.
that.
Yeah, who did that.
Wow,
So-
that's very cool.
Okay, so it's $180. Sounds pricey for a kid's toy, right? But I mean, if you're talking about drones, way like the cheapest good drone I think you could get is probably like, I guess we have a $50 SEMA drone, which is great. But you know how long that lasts? The battery lasts for 20 minutes
Well-
and then you're done. This is 2 hours.
The SDK is what gives it, I think, more utility. I could see a school buying this and using it as a part of their programming curriculum, that kind of thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him. And I mean, everybody I've showed him to falls in love a little bit.
He does have personality.
He does.
In an interesting way. Cosmo, Cozmo.
From Enki.
And from Anki, Anki.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, you think that'll be the Christmas present of 2016?
I have wondered that also.
It's a little pricey.
It is, I don't know. Well, how much were the hoverboards? $500?
Oh, that's true. It's less than a hoverboard, yeah.
So, and it doesn't blow up yet. I mean, that would be really sad if it did.
Isn't it pathetic that that's what we're saying? Well, it hasn't blown up yet.
So, yeah.
I think this hat that I'm wearing is going to be the Christmas present of 2016.
Probably.
Anyway, let me show. It's gotten rattier with time. It used to have a little bit fuller set of dreadlocks. Now they're just really kind of not great.
That's all. You only need 4 or 5 dreadlocks.
How
I
many
think.
dreadlocks
Yeah,
does one
exactly.
man need before you can call him a man? Let me show you my app cap. This is a new app that just came out. No, not that. This is a new app that you can take your Chernobyl back. This is called Dan the Man. I love the name. Did you ever play Mario? This is kind of like a Mario game. I think your generation, maybe Brian Burnett, might recognize this and be a little more comfortable with it. It's a side scroller with coins and fists of fury and jumping. Oh, they didn't tell me that. That was ice. I think I'm supposed to figure out. Oh, don't allow it to send me notifications. What happened? Something happened. Somehow I've gone to Piggy Island.
Is that the game?
Oh, this must be an ad. Oh, it is. This is an ad. Okay. So the game is free, and I've just, I hope, earned hours of more of play because it just is sticking an Angry Birds ad in there. And
Is it by the Angry Birds creators?
No, it's by the guys who did Fruit Ninja.
Oh, and Jetpack Joyride.
And Jetpack Joyride, yeah. Wow, I'm sorry about that. I don't want to install Angry Birds. I already did. So let's continue. The game is free. I think there are in-app purchases, but maybe that. Oh, look, there's a gun. I can get the gun. Let's climb up here. Ye old shop. Now I can shop. Oh, this is probably where the in-app purchases are going to come in. I can buy chicken wings. I can buy throwing stars. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to buy anything. It's a pretty playable game, just jumping around. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize you had to watch. Oh, fight. All right. So we're going to fight now. Fortunately, okay. I have a gun. You can also... Oh, let's punch him. And then shoot him. Oh, let's punch him. Oh, boy. I'm going to need every... And you get coins when you clobber somebody. It's fun. It's a fun game. A little violent. Let's get those... Oh, ow.
A little cartoon violence never hurt anybody.
Yeah, it's just cartoon violence. I love it when you can, yeah, and then if I punch the base, I can get something out of there. Oh, it's an apple. That's health. That's good. Bye-bye. All right, let's get that dagger. Okay, maybe this isn't for the kids. It's a fun platformer. I like jumping. I don't know about you, but I like this kind of platformer. And we will, in the interests of time, I won't be getting all the coins. I'll just jump off here to the TV set. That's the save. That's a checkpoint. It is Dan the Man. It's free, except you have to watch some stupid...
Ooh, revival potion.
I'm revived, but I'm going to not be revived for much longer if I don't get out of here. Oh. So that's actually nice, too. It's not frustrating in the sense that you don't die immediately. So you can kind of... I like games that are just a little hard. Not too hard. Just a little hard. Good sound effects, good music. Evil villains. Dan the Man.
I mean, sometimes you need to punch people in a video game.
I think kids will appreciate this.
Better than punching in real life. I mean...
Right.
Depends on who you're punching, I guess, but...
Don't punch in real life, kids. Be like Dan the Man. Punch in a video game. And there we go. Dan the Man. It's not exactly Cosmo, you're right. But it's a little better than a Chernobyl-smelling headphone dongle keeper.
Yeah, it's true.
So somewhere in between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I guess you've spent another hour with us. Hopefully you've learned a thing
you're
or
never
two.
going to get back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned a lot, actually. In just even researching these tips, I found so many. Mm-hmm. iOS 10 has so much hidden treasure in there.
Yeah, you should send us your tips to.
Yes, please do.
Send them to me, Megan at twit.tv.
You sound resigned.
Well, it's like I don't check the
away.
iOS. The iOS email is very spammy.
Don't do that, and don't call anymore. Do we still have a phone number? Should I call and leave a message?
Yeah, leave a voicemail. Why not? Yes. Well, that requires me knowing the number. It's some numbers, and I have them here, and they are 757-504 iPad.
Don't feel bad. Even after 5 years of doing this show, Sarah Lane never knew the number either.
And I won't either. So
I should learn it. I'm the one who's been here the longest. Say it again.
It's 757-504-4723.
I have it now. It's like a steel trap. It's locked right here.
Mm-hmm. That is it.
In 707-754 iPad.
Some numbers are correct, yes. But usually with a phone number, you need to get all of them correct. Megan at twit.tv, if you have some tips, maybe we do a regular segment where we give 2 or 3 tips.
I love it. I love the tips. Right. I got a tip.
Okay.
This morning, phone rings. The phone number, 100000000. That's suspicious, right? The other day, I got a call from 77, and it said, Russia's calling. Anyway, I thought, well, let's see who's calling me from 1000. And I picked up the phone and fella said, "Hi, I'm calling from Windows, and you have a virus." But here's my tip. So sometimes people just hang up. That's one thing. Sometimes people I guess when they have lots of extra time, maybe your dad could do this, just keep them on the line, string them along, because these are scammers, right? These are guys who are going to take money from you and maybe even try to put bad stuff on your computer. They're not from Microsoft. He didn't say it was from Microsoft. He said I'm from Windows. That's a good one. So here's my tip. This is what I said to him. Does your mother know you do this for a living? Wouldn't she be ashamed? You should be ashamed of yourself scamming innocent people like this. Mm-hmm. I planted a seed of doubt. I'm thinking it's gonna be a seed that will grow, and in a couple of days, the poor guy's just gonna say, "I give up. I can't do this anymore."
What did he say to you?
Nothing. I hung up then.
Oh.
He didn't give him a chance to defend himself. Usually what they do is they swear at you.
Oh.
Give him a chance to do that either.
We should do, that was like your Maury Safer moment at the end of 60 Minutes. Was he the one that did the last thing at 60 Minutes?
No, Andy Rooney.
Andy Rooney. Like you're like the last few
That's my
minutes.
Andy Rooney. I'm gonna
At
do
the end
that.
of iOS Today,
Yeah.
every time
Here's a
you do
tip,
like
kids.
something moral, something.
Don't chew the sugo.
And then that's the end. So you got to stick around to the end
Yeah.
where Leo philosophize about technology.
Somebody in the chat room, Yashi says, actually, if you'd held on, he would have said, "Well, my mother's right here. Would you like to talk to her, buddy?" Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on iOS Today. Woo!